Hi, my name is Dr. Leanne Wood, and in this short video for NKU's Honors College, we will be talking about research questions and inquiry-based learning. All right, so the first question is, what is inquiry-based learning? It's basically just an approach to learning that encourages students to be curious, so actively engaging in the learning process. It's a chance for you to shape your own learning. So rather than being told what to research, you get to play a part in choosing the direction of your learning. So it really helps you learn how to learn. One question we might ask is, what makes a good research question? A lot of students like to ask questions that they kind of already know the answer to, but a really good research question is not easy to answer. It should be open-ended, so it doesn't necessarily yield a really easy resolution. You may still have questions at the end of conducting your research. A good research question asks you to read and analyze and evaluate and synthesize information from a wide variety of sources. Some of them will be scholarly ones, but also popular sources and non-scholarly sources can be great resources, but also be critical and evaluate them for their reliability. Finally, a good research question helps you enter larger conversations about a problem or some kind of inconsistency or ambiguity that you've noticed in the world. Often, you're not the first person to ask a question about a topic, so a good research question lets you enter into that ongoing and pre-existing conversation. All right, so how do we start developing a research question? The first thing to think about is, what are you interested in? You're probably going to have to spend quite a bit of time with this topic, so you want to make sure that it's something that you find fascinating. If you've got some limitations on what you can research, think about what interests you within those limits. On the screen here, you can see a good template for asking a research question. You just fill in these 3 blanks. So I am interested in studying blank because I want to know how or why blank, in order to help my readers better understand blank. And that last blank is important because you want to make sure that this topic is something other people might be interested in as well. It's not just something that you are uniquely curious about, but that your question and its answer have some larger significance. Once you have a general topic in mind, you want to start developing a research question. So you want to do some preliminary research to get a general sense of what's going on with your topic. Wikipedia and basic Google searches are totally fine at this stage. You probably don't want to keep those sources in your final research project, but it's okay for the general overview stage. Another great resource for developing your research question is to do some library research. So you can log into Steely Library's databases and figure out specifically what other scholars or expert researchers have said about your topic already. Often, as you start researching a topic, you will discover that your initial question has already been answered. That can be really frustrating, but it's okay. It's totally normal. So all you have to do is just keep researching, maybe develop some new questions, dig a little deeper, go into a more narrow subtopic. You can look for gaps or controversies within the existing body of research. Maybe there's something that you're not finding a whole lot of sources on, and you think that this is a gap in the research that needs to be addressed. Could be that you find explanations out there, but they're not really satisfying to you, or you think that maybe you need to bring in information from a different field of study. So maybe researchers in economics seem to be missing a perspective that could be provided from a different field like sociology or psychology. So sometimes if you combine disciplines, you create an interdisciplinary approach to your topic, you can yield some really interesting and novel answers. So what do good research questions look like? Well, they usually start with a how or a why. They almost never start with who, what, when, and where, because those types of question words usually yield really finite answers. Good research questions are also pretty narrow in focus. So here's a couple of examples from my area, which is music. How does music affect the human brain? That's a super broad question, but maybe how does playing music as a young child affect brain development and elementary school performance? So you can see it's still dealing with the same general topic, but it's much more specific. You won't get as frustrated or overwhelmed when you start researching this kind of a more focused question. And finally, we could ask, what do research questions and inquiry-based learning produce? If you ask a good research question, there's probably not one simple answer. You can offer an answer, but it may not be the only answer out there. Often good research questions yield more research questions, and it just means that you've got more stuff to go research. Hopefully, good research questions yield some kind of answer that you get to share with other people who want to know more about the world. Thank you for listening. If you want to learn more about the Honors College, you can follow the link below. Bye.